Here's how to make sweet and delicious creme brulee. Starting off, we'll be adding 250 milliliters of cream. Heat it to the point just before it starts boiling. In the mixing bowl, we'll be adding 3 egg yolks, 50 grams of sugar, and a tiny pinch of salt. Mix that all together and follow that up with a teaspoon of vanilla essence. Mix. Next up, we'll be taking our cream and add in just a little bit. And mix that into the egg. We're adding a little bit again. By adding a little bit of cream in the beginning and mix them into the eggs, this is called tempering. It's a process of slowly warming up the eggs so it doesn't get too hot too quickly, preventing the eggs from being scrambled and clumped together. You can pour in the rest of the cream. Well, until you feel all the sugars have been dissolved. Careful not to overmix if you want a nice smooth surface. If you do, it'll create little bubbles on top. If you do find yourself overmixing, that's not to worry. You can just let it sit for a few minutes for the bubbles to calm down. I'll be transferring the mixture into these ramekins. Then place them in another tray and fill it with hot water. Make sure to throw enough hot water to cover at least half the ramekin. Then we'll be throwing these into the oven at 150 degrees Celsius or 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. Once out of the oven, I poured out the water from the tray to make grabbing it out a bit easier. Now let them cool down for a few minutes outside, and once they cool down to the point where you can move them with your bare hands, place them in the fridge for a minimum of 2 hours. If you take them out any earlier than that, the texture just won't be right. A little bit of patience in these goes a long way. After the 2 hours are up, throw on some sugar on the surface. If you don't have a blowtorch, I suggest use the broiler sitting in the oven, turn it on maximum heat, and keep your eye on it because the process will be quite quick. I'm personally going to use the blowtorch. You can gently do it from a distance, you don't want it too close, otherwise it'll burn. Once that's done, wait for roughly a minute to let it cool down a little bit, and you're ready to eat. And here you have it, creme brulee. Ooh, that's good.